Hi there, this is Dolphin with a guide on how to make your Koss KSC75 last longer. We are talking about these clip-on headphones. There's no real competition in this type of headphone. They have an excellent sound and they cost about $16 in the USA, about 26 euros in Germany. And they have one Achilles heel, if you will, this wire here. As you see, there's no stress relief. So after a while of this movement, the wire will break. And yeah, this is annoying. I went through so many pairs of this, and now I said myself, never again. After they broke down, and I immediately ordered new ones, but had to wait several days before they arrived. So all the time I had only mono sound, and that was really annoying. Yeah, so they say nothing lasts forever, but try this method what I'm explaining to you now. I'm not a fan of putting excessive effort into things, that might not be worth it. There are guides on how to mod them, how to replace the cable with a self-made one, but making my own cable, I found that too annoying, too much hassle. And maybe I can still do it at some point if the cable breaks again. But I ordered new ones, and with the new ones right away I did something. I guess this could even be planned obsolescence, as it's called. They want these to break down after a while so they can sell new ones. Okay. And very early on, I also used a modification of the membrane protective barrier. I will show you. This black thing here that protects the membrane from the cushion, from the ear cushion. And yeah, you see this is already a modified one with extra holes in it. So I did that, and the difference in sound was maybe only in direct comparison. Maybe you could notice a difference, a little bit brighter treble maybe. But what would happen is that occasionally hairs are sticking through the ear cushion. And the chance for a hair to poke right at the membrane is a lot higher. So all the time I would have to remove the cushion and do this and clean it again, because there was buzzing, because the membrane was vibrating while there was a hair poking. Yeah, so what you can do is basically improvise a stress relief and or diffuse the problematic situation. I will show you what it is, how it is built internally. So there's a cover here, and behind the cover it looks like this. I will give you a very detailed view. It looks like this. As you can see there, it goes down, and then let me get a pen. It goes down and then makes a dent here into the middle, and is let out in the middle through a hole there. And let me adjust the zoom a bit. Yeah, that's better. And then the cover comes in and through a hole, and you see there's a bit of glue. I don't know whether that is supposed to have anything, but what you basically get is, even if it's glued here, it's even worse. You have a hole. Everything that is in here, this part of the cable, will be movable mostly, and then it goes through a hole, and on the outside, as soon as it, difficult to show, but as soon as it here, this is all fixed, and as soon as it gets out here you have this movement, and this is as if this wasn't bad enough. Little bit inside of this movement is a dent in the cable, so you have this all the time. This is the worst design, really, if you want longevity for the cable. So what I basically did, two things. First, so this is the cover. You can remove it carefully, use a very fine screwdriver or your fingernails, and to leverage lift it off. It's just in there, you know, you can lift it up like that. Here is the hole. And what I did is I took a Dremel, you know, the tool with the rotating disc. You can probably also use some saw if you don't have anything else, and added a hole here, another one, so that the cable that comes, it's broken anyway, I don't have to be careful with these. So the cable that comes out here does not have this dent, but some relief, so it goes straight down here, like this. This will already diffuse this situation a bit. So this is easy to do. And if you have old pairs that are damaged, you can use the covers from there. So even you don't lose warranty, even if you have a defect early on and want to return it. You can just use the other cable, the covers from the old ones, and replace it and modify it, and put them on the new ones. That is what I did. So I did two things, and they were relatively easy compared to making your own cable. But the cable is a nightmare. Originally, I wanted to solder, you know, I wanted to repair this thing here and cut this off, because I noticed I could check that it's really up here. I did this a little bit here, moved it, and had a loose connection. So it is up here. So I cut it off and made it blank again, opened, you know, removed the cover from the cable, and this is a nightmare. You have two strands, of course, and they first one is covered in a red cover again. I had to remove that, and then one of them is the copper fibers are coated. And both are, one transparent and one red. And what I tried was gently flaming it off, you know, with the flame of a lighter going through that. But at some point, there's a point of inflammation, and it burns off the coat and the coating. And with the red coating, it would leave residue that would make sabotage the contact of the soldering. You know, it just wouldn't get proper contact. So basically, you will ruin it. There's no reasonable way to work with the original cable. Yeah, so that's about cable mods. And so modifying the cover was the first thing. And then basically stress relief, there are probably other names for it, is what you see here. This is this part, which is a bit flexible. And considering how thin this cable is, this is probably a bit too stiff, you know. My old one had a straight jack here, and I like that, and this one is angled again, and that's shortening the cable a bit. And if I accidentally pull, you have this plugged in here and like this, and this is not really ideal. And it's a bit too stiff to really take stress off the cable here. So, have you heard of hot glue? This is a hot glue pistol. Should be cheap enough, you know, the little glue stick in here, and then you heat it up, and then you press out the glue. And this, it doesn't get too hot, just hot enough to be liquefied, and you can coat the cable with it, and when it cools off, it retains some flexibility. So it's like a glue, some glue, you know. If you really have to remove it, you can probably do it cleanly if you're careful, but it is not super rigid. And I did that as a second measure, and these are my brand new headphones. And I will show you this in maximum zoom. Look at it here. So there you see an improvised stress relief with hot glue, and thicker towards the headphone cover there, and getting thinner as you go down here. It's easier to spread it like this along the cable, and it also gives you a scaling flexibility. It is the least flexible up here. This is tedious. It is the least flexible up here, and gets more flexible down there. So up here at the critical point, you will have pretty much no movement of the cable at all. And down here, the movement will increase. So hopefully I can show you, demonstrate. Let's get some more distance here. Okay. I have to use a manual zoom. The auto zoom just refuses to work properly. See this? The down part here gives some, but up there nothing is moving. So as you can see here, this is a proper stress relief. This very smooth band the way it should be. Still flexible because it is very thin down there and less flexible up here. Yeah. So you can, and the nice thing is you can do either one of those two measures depending on what tools you have and what money you want to spend on those tools in case you don't have them, or you can combine both. And I would say the hot glue method is probably the more important one, but I wanted to get the out there and want to make it straight, and since I had a Dremel tool, no problem, just sawed a second hole in there. Yeah, and when you do that, the cable should last forever, unless the plug is the next problem. But yeah, I got a head amp here on my desk, and this is movable. It can slide across the desk. This is important that it's plugged in, and should I accidentally pull on these cables, because they are not very long, making your own cable is probably worth it if you want a very long cable that gives you movement freedom in the room. But yeah, it's pretty short and you forget to take them off, and then it does this. But although the stress relief is very stiff here, it will probably then pull my head amp across the table. So that is stress relief too in this way. Yeah, so test them first, headphones, of course, they should not have defects, but just in case, I used mine for 1 day before I modded them. But yeah, now I got brand new headphones. I said remove the cover. These clips here, they're just clipped in. Just pull equally on both sides carefully and they will come off. And yeah, and at one time, because I kept trying to adjust this to fit my ear, this broke. And at first I ordered one, and then I just in time remembered and canceled. Oh, I got so many old ones, I'll just take one piece from my old ones, Same with the ear cushions. Occasionally one pair would break before the ear cushions were finished, and I would just swap them out. Just with the ear clips, if they lie around for too long, the rubber here, probably in connection to the fatty acids from the skin, will make them disintegrate. They will become dark and sticky, and then they are finished. But yeah, so there I got some proper stress relief of the cables. It happens a lot, like one falls off, or I accidentally pull like this, or that can happen sometimes. I'm amazed they last as long as they do. Yeah, but one tip if you're using them mobile. So one sin that I did early on, and I will demonstrate to you with one pair. One sin that I committed was I used them, took them with me on travel, put them in a plastic bag, and would do this. Never do that out of space saving, because then you will right outside here, no stress relief, and you will bend it to the maximum right here. So I had them like this, space saving, and this was probably one major contributing factor. It's avoiding compacting like this, always being aware of keeping the stress of this part is helpful. It's not perfect, because as I said, I had my last pair for about 1 or 2 years, I think, without any of that stuff, but still eventually I had a defect. But yeah, if you have a hot glue pistol, or if you want to get one anyway, hot glue is quite practical for various things, then do that. And now I am more relaxed about these, because even if they're not that expensive, but as I said, they broke at a bad time, and for several days. I only had mono. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is what you can do if you don't want to go all the way of making your own cable, because if you want to make them more rigid, more stable, they have to be bigger, and then they are less flexible. These cables, they are amazingly thin. You have to imagine that these are 2 strands, and in each strand beyond the PVC here are 2 strands again, because for each side you need plus and minus basically. Yeah, so I thought, now if those should ever break, although I don't think they will, I can still consider making my own cable. Although at that point I would probably just get another pair and do the hot glue method again and take off the covers here, because, you know, as I said, taking parts, hot glue quickly, take these covers off from the defective ones and just put them on the new ones, and that is even easier. So still business for Koss, but not excessively. Yeah, and this is just, it's such a dumb design. It would be so easy to prevent this. So you, by doing this mod, you will also signal to Koss, you know, don't be too greedy. No planned obsolescence, which means you design products in a way that they break after a certain time. Yeah, okay, if you like this, if this was an inspiring spark to you, then give this a like and maybe spread the message to other people who might be interested in this. It really helps me a lot. Or subscribe if you want to follow various entertainment things on my channel. I have this and that, and I don't upload excessively, so it won't swamp your subscription feed with anything. Yeah. And as I said, the Koss are very good sound-wise for the price, you know, for the costs, 15 to 25 bucks roughly. You get amazing sound quality, and I don't like the earplugs here. I find the on-ear more comfortable, and the in-ear might have better bass sometimes, but just it is easier for bigger membranes to create the same sound quality. And they can provide good bass if you have this source material that is heavy in bass. Otherwise, it will be very balanced, very moderate. Kick bass sounds very good with these things. Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Koss KSC75 yet, you could still give them a try if you want to have affordable sound. And it's also, I mainly like them because they don't have, you know, up here they don't press my hair down like this, and it's just. I find it a lot more practical. They are minimalist without being just plugs inside the ear, putting any pressure. They are very, very pleasant feeling, and if you don't overdo it, they stick quite well. And one last issue people sometimes have with these, if you have trouble getting them over your ears or they are uncomfortable, you just, you know, you press and just nothing works. Turn them around like this, and then turn them around the ear like this, you know. I can understand this, you know, like this. Okay, yeah, so I had to laugh, you know. One time some wacko said, why are you using so cheap headphones, you know, crap, $6 crap from supermarket. No, they are not, they are really good. Okay, should not prolong this. Thank you for watching, and I enjoyed sharing this, and give me feedback, tell me in the comments your thoughts, if you appreciate it. Always like to hear from people. Okay, then signing out finally. It was long enough a video. See ya.